Somerville is becoming a dining and entertainment destination. Ethnic, upscale, chain, and locally sourced restaurants are all looking to set the table for patrons in and around the city. According to Bloomberg Businessweek, restaurants count on alcohol sales for almost 30% of their revenue. As the restaurant and bar scene grows in the city, liquor licenses are actually in short supply. Our Brendan Donahue reports on the city's efforts to change that.
Somerville's supply of liquor licenses is running low. From Prospect Hill to Davis Square, the city has only 6 remaining licenses. In Massachusetts, liquor licenses are granted by the state legislature through a home rule petition. Representative Denise Provost sponsored a bill at the State House to increase the number of licenses available in Somerville.
This was a home rule petition that came from the Board of Aldermen and was signed by the mayor that wants to increase the number of liquor licenses available in the city of Somerville by the number of 65 more. This bill will probably not be enacted in the form it was submitted. I think there is a feeling that 65 liquor licenses at one time is perhaps excessive. An additional.
Ms. Provost says there are frequently requests for additional licenses on the agenda, but towns are usually looking for 1 or 2 at a time. The state uses a population formula to determine the number of licenses for each municipality. According to the city of Somerville, the large request fits in with SummerVision's growth plan.
I think in general it would have a positive effect on businesses, especially a restaurant that wants to serve alcohol responsibly to responsible drinkers. I do think we have to be careful about who we issue liquor licenses to and how many we issue them to. There's a reason that we have rules set up to limit liquor licenses, so we don't want to go overboard, but I definitely do. I know there's a demand for it in Somerville.
The Assembly Row development currently has 8 restaurants and bars with liquor licenses. With more development going on, the current request sets aside 15 licenses just for Assembly Square. Alderman McLaughlin wants to make sure local businesses aren't left out.
I requested that local businesses, local-owned businesses, small businesses get priority over big businesses. The concern I would have is, who gets priority? Is it going to be the big business interest? Is it going to be small business? And I could see a situation where something like Assembly Square or something like New Business in Union Square gets a priority over a small store that could serve beer or wine with a dinner.
Charles Abel and Dan Millen are small business owners who recently went through the process of obtaining a liquor license for their new Union Square music club and restaurant, Thunder Road.
And the process itself was, it was a little nerve-wracking because it was sent to the state, and they investigate you. Both Dan and my partner, Dan Millen, and myself have been in this business before. Our credibility is untarnished, and so we knew that nothing was going to become of it. But it's still a little nerve-wracking waiting for some skeleton that I don't know of coming out of a closet, which there wasn't any skeletons. The city mandates that you have a community meeting as part of the process so that the neighbors have a chance to come and ask you questions. And we did that, and there were several neighbors there, some of which were excited for us, and some of which had some legitimate questions regarding of how we're going to present our product and how we were going to manage the property and how it would affect them. So we tried to answer any questions that they had, and I think we did a good job.
The Union United Coalition has asked for more community meetings and an impact study on how increased liquor licenses will affect local residents and neighborhoods. That kind of local scrutiny is an argument for transferring license control from the state to the municipalities. Ms. Provost is one of 22 legislators signed on a petition to do just that.
Many communities and local community leaders feel that it makes sense to have the communities themselves decide how many liquor licenses are appropriate. And in any case, they're directly accountable to the voters.
Both the request for increased liquor licenses and the return to local control bills are currently before the House. Neither bill is yet scheduled for a vote. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Brendan Donahue.
Somerville currently has 122 liquor licenses for the entire city. If the current request is granted, that total will increase by 50%.